Hey guys, what's up? It's Professor Gratz here. We're going to talk about chest trauma. I have had a few students come up to me and ask me about pneumothorax. Okay, so first thing, let's talk about the freebies. Let's say, for example, you get a question, and that question says you have diminished lung sounds on one side or unilateral chest rise on one side. And that's it. Thank you very much. That's a freebie. That's pneumothorax all day long. Not hemothorax. That's a pneumothorax all day long. Or let's say, for example, they throw the term muffled heart tones at you. Thank you very much. That is cardiac tamponade. Okay? Those are your freebies. Um, Now, if comparing hemothorax, pneumothorax, and cardiac tamponade, okay, they have a couple similarities, but they have some definite differences that you need to look for. Number one, in things that are similar is hypotension. They can all have hypotension. Don't think that just because they're hypotensive, it's internal bleeding. Okay. Um, Pneumothorax and cardiac tamponade can cause hypotension because it compresses the cardiac system. It pressurizes the chest, compresses the soft vessels, and diminishes cardiac output. Bye bye blood pressure. Okay? Now, the big difference here is that hemothorax is hypotensive because of massive bleeding. They are literally bleeding inside the chest. Okay? Um, so, if you had to differentiate between pneumothorax and cardiac tamponade, no problem. Cardiac tamponade doesn't affect the lungs. So you should have clear lung sounds or bilateral chest rise, or they'll push you in somewhat of that direction. Okay. Technically, to be pneumothorax, they have to give you something about the lungs. It has to be some kind of unilateral change, right? True, you can get bilateral pneumothorax. That is true. Okay. Um, but that would be bilaterally, you know, diminished, not tamponade. Um, and then, of course, if they, by for some chance, they give you diminished heart tones and JVD and hypotension, or even they go further and they tell you narrowing pulse pressures, thank you very much. That's a freebie. That's Beck's triad. That's cardiac tamponade all day. Thank you very much. Now, if you had to differentiate between hemothorax and pneumothorax on a test question, um, it's like I said, they can give you the the signs that are similar, like hypotension, chest trauma, even as far as unilateral diminished lung sounds, because they can give you that too. Now, how do you differentiate for sure between hemothorax and pneumothorax? It's JVD all day. So anytime you pressurize the chest, you get JVD, right? Pressure in the chest, you essentially squeezing down on the venous system, back flowing up into the neck and back flowing down into the liver. So you'll get JVD and you'll get it's hepatojugular reflux, where you get a bulging kind of liver. Um, so that's a pressurized chest. JVD is your big one. Okay, hemothorax, no JVD. And then every once in a while, I have a student will ask me, be like, well, what if it's a hemopneumothorax? Aha, it doesn't matter. He, let me put it like this: you will never decompress a hemothorax. Okay, you'll decompress a pneumothorax. Um, and if you, for some reason, you get a hemopneumothorax, you're decompressing the pneumothorax, not the hemothorax. You're decompressing a pneumothorax that just happened to have blood in there. Okay, it's as simple as that. Um, so with a hemothorax, you got to think like you can literally hold up to 3,000 mLs per pleural cavity. You can hold your entire blood volume in your chest. Okay, so what is decompressing going to do? It's nothing. You only decompress to remove air, not blood. Okay. Um, And I mean, honestly, and it does say, you can read about it. It'll tell you that hemopneumothoraxes are pretty rare and this and that, but it's not a crazy thing to say that when you decompress somebody, that you'll see blood come out. It happens. I've seen it myself. I mean, you think about it. Chest, there's trauma to a chest. There's lots of vessels in there. It's not a crazy thing to say that blood is going to come out. But my point of that is that when you decompress the chest, you're decompressing to remove air. Okay, so if you have to pick between answers for pneumothorax and hemothorax, look for signs of pressure. Do you have JVD, or even tracheal deviation, right? I'm not going to bleed in my chest and cause the trachea to slide over. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so I hope that helps, guys, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one.